Hello YouTube, here we are with a little bit of a unboxing video. Well, in front of us here we have a Mr. Heater Contractor Series 30,000 to 80,000 BTU portable propane convection heater. One of the things that is very attractive about this here heater is it does not require a power source to basically make it work. Unlike the forced air or fan style heaters that require you to plug it in, this one here does not have the fan, so it really doesn't need the power to run it. It says here it heats up to 1900 square feet, operates on a 20-pound or larger cylinder, up to 100-pound cylinder wise, so it'll last a little bit for heating, a shop or a garage. Reliable instant heat for construction sites, industrial, commercial workspaces, agricultural buildings, remodeling jobs, emergencies, and workshops. So of course I'm imagining I'm going to probably find some of that wonderful foam that everything has included nowadays in packaging. Probably some plastic as well. Inside, of course, is the heater itself, and should contain a regulator as well, I'd imagine. So let's dump her on out of the box, see what we end up with. And just like I figured, you have the foam packaging, plastic. You got the regulator and, well, an instruction book that really nobody ever reads anyway. So we'll pop the foam off. One thing I will say is it reasonably was packaged well. I guess, with shipping experience, companies learn from mistakes of the past and then, kind of carry on, right? So pulling off the plastic, you got, the basic heater itself. One thing I like is it's collapsible down for easy storage. So when you're not using it, it doesn't take up nowhere nearly as much room as it would if it was fully extended. So right here on the front side of the heater, you have your igniter. You have your heat up and down to make it hotter or cooler. And you have your propane switch here. Pretty much you press this and hold it for a few seconds, and then hit the igniter and it should fire right up. This one over here, you take the rubber cap off, and that's where your regulator hooks onto. And to extend the heater, make it taller, basically you got these little clips on kind of the front and the back. You kind of give them a gentle pull and then pull up on the heater itself, and they tend to lock in place, and really away you go. So some of the features of this here heater is ready to use, no electricity required, easy start push button ignition, instant 360-degree uniform heating, standing pilot for increased safety, auto lock chamber allows for easy assembly, simple hookup hose regulator included, runs up to 14 hours on a 20-pound propane tank. Heater shuts off with loss of flame. Wide base prevents tip over. 1 year limited warranty. Now, of course, you will need either a crescent wrench or some other type of wrench to install the heater with. So, of course, to put the regulator on, you got to pop this little rubber cover off. I suppose you could use a knife and just cut it off, but it is just kind of press fit on there. You don't want to damage, the threads, or else you kind of defeat the purpose of having a nice heater when you have to already do repairs on it. So again, in the bottom of the regulator hose, there's another plastic cap. Probably just used to keep garbage out of the hose itself, whether it's critters or dust or so. We'll just pop that out and then away it goes. Tightening this on down. I know a guy one time didn't have a wrench set or crescent wrenches, so he just put it on finger tight, similar to that. And he ended up returning the heater to the big box retail store, saying how it was leaking propane and it was going to explode. Well, when I questioned him about it and got him to show me, and it was leaking where the regulator hose goes on to the heater itself. And later on he tells me that he didn't have any tools, so he just put it on finger tight. Well, of course it's going to leak because you didn't tighten her on down. If you want to take it one step further, you could put some Teflon tape on there, because it is a semi-permanent installation. However, if you ever do want to take it off, then you got to put more Teflon tape on it again for the next time use. So of course, for the other end of the business end, if you want to say, we have the regulator. You have your standard barbecue fitting here. The only real difference between this fitting and one of the ones you can find on a modern barbecue is it doesn't have that big plastic easy turn knob, kind of a toolless design, which would have been nice if it would have included on here. Then you don't have to use a crescent wrench to put the regulator onto the tank. So what I'll do is dig up a tank, and then we'll fire this baby up and see if it works. So pretty much, guys, once you got the tank turned on, turn it all the way to low, the dial. Press the little red propane button here. Let propane into the heater itself. And then press the big red button. Pretty much like that. Sometimes it takes a few seconds to get her going, but once it's going, it's going. Now what I find is you hold the red propane button down for a few seconds after it's lit, or else it may go out. And once you release it, it kind of kicks it all in and it starts to cook. And as you see there, we have ourselves an open flame. With that, you want to be careful about using it around solvents, gasoline, anything combustible. Even as you see there with the foam and the plastic so close, as this heater heats up, that too will melt and can cause a fire hazard. So what I'll do, guys, is I'll let a few things here warm up, get some stuff cleaned up, and then we'll come on back. Okay, guys, so there we go. Pretty much got her, well, as you see, running pretty decent. Right now it's on a low to medium for setting or heat-wise. One thing I did find out is the dial that says low and high is actually backwards. I will show you here. Like I said, right now it's on kind of a medium heat, and if you were to turn it up, then it really doesn't change much, because that's about where it is now. But if you were to change it down, turn it down, as you see, it gets louder. So I'd say right there is probably the 80,000 BTU setting, and it's not really that loud compared to what the forced air fans used to be. I think this heater should do me quite well for what I want to do in my little workshop here for a few years to come. Of course, check back. We'll do another video on this heater, and maybe in a year or so we'll have a different opinion of it. But for right now, well, it's doing quite well, promising to be a good piece of equipment. But that's pretty much been an unboxing of a Mr. Heater propane powered convection, 360 degrees of heating power. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's World. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.